I'm Rod Thomson, Professor of Medieval History at the University of Tasmania. Today I've come to see the Castle Phoenix at Geeveston, Tasmania. I specialise in Western Europe in the High Middle Ages, that's the 11th to the 13th century, mainly intellectual history, origins of universities, books, libraries, men and women of learning. Well, I'm not an expert in castles, but I know what a medieval castle looks like. The classic castles date from the 11th way up to the 16th century. They decline when gunpowder comes in and it became possible to blow their walls apart rather easily. But the classic medieval castle consists of two parts: the bailey, the inner part, which contains the real fortress and all the stores, and it was the last port of call when you were besieged and the enemy had overrun the other part, which is the outer walls, which are much wider, and there's a lot of space inside them for fighting and practicing and jousting and all those things.
So that's just a remnant of a remainder of the bedrock, so that we could appreciate the bedrock. And if you're tall enough to touch the ceiling, have a feel of the ceiling. It's nice and smooth. And that's nothing but pure cement. That is what happens when you put black plastic down and you pour concrete over the top of it and you remove the plastic. That's it. That's what you get.
And are there any parts of a medieval castle in this castle?
Well, there are a few pointed arches, battlement ornaments, the sort called machicolations, which is where they used to throw boiling oil and things down. There are a few features, but it's mainly just fantasy.
And so the middle there is actually going to be a tree, and you can see the branches coming up Christina drew the other day. And above your head will be all these maple leaves that we're making, and around the perimeter will be blue sky. So this room is a complete random happenstance. The only thing about this room here is that I wanted, like every other room in the castle is round, this is a round room. So it's spherical.
Oh.
You don't need an amplifier when you're in there. Just under your own amplification. The surrounding of it is broken shower screen reclaimed from a job where the shower screen blew up. We saw the potential in the broken pieces to make it into a mosaic. So we collected them all up and started to use them as a mosaic on that wall. I want mine to be not a medieval, not a fairy tale. It's
Yours is much more fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you say that, because that's what I wanted. I wanted not whimsical, but it has a practical functionality to it, but it also has this artistic expression in it.
Well, it's quite different from what I was expecting. It's not a medieval castle at all. Francis told me he didn't have any particular model in mind when he started building it, and it's a bit more like Gaudi's Barcelona Cathedral or something one of the surrealists might have made. But he said he'd never heard of Gaudi when he started building it either. Well, of course, he was a professional tiler at one stage, does a lot of tile work, and by the time he's finished, there will be millions and millions of tiles all over the walls and ceilings. It'll be very colourful, but it's going to be very beautiful.